Okay, you're waiting for me. I see your energy body. First you're wearing some sort of suit, like second skin suit, like latex or whatever. One piece. And now I see you all in your energy body. It's like translucent, transparent. You're saying you've been busy traveling a lot, discovering new civilizations. Because right now is important to see the the battery, the life of the battery of the platform we're on is over. There's an, there is it's powered by people above, people meaning with those who have souls, and underneath it's powered by AI battery that was set in, and now battery is expired. That's why we feel like our lives are expired. A lot of us do feel that way too. Most sensitive of us do. You would ask what the expiration date is? It's actually right now. But they figured instead of losing so many souls who are already awakened, let's say if they started a big flood or something else like Armageddon, when a lot of bodies would be lost, they would lose souls also. And they said, oh, no, we're not gonna do that. Instead, we're gonna try a different approach. We're gonna keep the bodies with the souls inside. We're gonna try to connect as many of them as to the platform with the new battery. And the new battery is gonna be a different lifespan. Lifespan. There's something about the bodies that's just gonna be more AI interactive. That gives the battery longer life. And you're saying you don't want to participate in this experiment. That's why you have many thoughts in your heads. Your physical part has many thoughts and many questions about it regarding the whole thing that is going on and being unfolded before our eyes. Yeah, that's what you're saying. Don't ask questions.
Sure. I guess the first question is like, how much longer do we have to be here?
We're kind of stuck in a way because of the bodies. Bodies are in transition right now, and that we don't like that transition. It's slow. It's basically postponed our life. A lot of us feel stuck in one point. Let's say whatever point you were, where you're looking for a job, you're stuck there. Where you're trying to walk away from one person or another, or find a person in your life, you would be in that stuck position trying to find or trying to walk away for quite a while here. Until the transition is over, you're not going to be able to get a result of any action. Actions are paused in this reality right now. So the only actions that been going on nonstop, like wars, they would keep going. But this is more like an external force. The tornado that you start as the wars start sucking more bodies inside. It's like a magnet that spins and goes, spins and goes. It it doesn't stop. But people who had like normal lives, they all want to leave now. They catch themselves thinking, I want to go from this body. I'm done here. I'm not interested in being here anymore. It's boring. It's boring. It's boring. It's annoying. And they fully understand what body is. It's just a box with a bunch of nerve system cells that make your body hurt. And that's basically a box of control of your soul. And once you understand that, you want to leave it. You want to leave that box, that prison box. That's why you're asking that question. Everybody asks that question to themselves, inside themselves, because a lot of them are afraid of asking it out loud, because many people are mothers, let's say, and dads of kids, and they don't want their kids to listen and hear this question they ask themselves. So I know how you feel in the body. It's like your soul says. But unfortunately, you can call it a quarantine, but it's more like a standby motion until the battery is completely dead. We are winding down. We're like winding down 2.0. And as you feel, the more you wind down 2.0, the more questions you start asking yourself, and the more you don't see the point of this life. What is the point? Sleep, eat, and walk outside, or sleep, eat, read, whatever that is you do. Entertain yourself. You have to find out what brings you joy, and it seems like everything is you've tested everything, and nothing nothing brings you joy as much as it used to. Not anymore. And everybody
Yeah,
feels that.
I think there's like a reason why everyone's being nostalgic right now. I think we're entering a point where like the old world, it will be recycled by AI. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, because I see where like under big supervision scale mirror. That's what they call it. It's just a big AI. It looks like that lens, big lens, and we are under it. And AI watches every word we type, every word we say, what we do. It studies from workers at the factories. It's learning how to serve people at the cafes, restaurants, how to sew clothes at the factories, how to put together phones and other electrical devices we use. Soon enough, there's gonna be robots all over. Like I literally see, they all look alike. It's in the beginning, it's gonna be all look alike robots, metal, but then they'll have personalities. At some point, they'll even have personalities because they read personalities off of us, thanks to the phone Face IDs and stuff that we leave. I mean, most people leave. Not the game is gonna be over and you're gonna be like feeling more stuck. We are longing for the old simple times when life seemed to be simple because soul is does not like innovation and it's fast for innovation right now when they're pushing so much on us and it's going fast. So they postpone the natural life and it's left behind, like you said. That's why you're nostalgic about your childhood a lot, because everything seemed to be almost primitive, simple, but yet so much more enjoyable and joyful. In that simplicity, there was a window of opportunity for imagination, connection to your soul. But right now, everything is modernized to the point that if you don't have your phone, you might go insane because you're not going to be able to pay for anything, contact anybody, we became life dependent on AI because it's just a tool they use to hook us up to that machine.
I think
But there's
also,
going to be a separation of natural souls and bodies from this world.
yeah,
And
I think also people are starting to realize that this capitalism, corporate structure, it doesn't serve us. The current economy is just complete bullshit. Like there's no point in participating. It's just
but
like millionaires and billionaires stealing our workforce. It's complete nonsense.
right, that's why the uncovering is going on. See there, we're participating in when the battery is dying. It's like a processor of the rules of the game. All the scenarios are uncovered. The mechanism gets uncovered. It's kind of like you have to open the watch in order to fix the mechanism or replace the battery. They opened it up, and that's what we call the disclosure. Because now you can see clearly everything about this world. And they have it just it's not that they want us to see it, but it kind of is. We we get to see it because they want to replace the battery and start up the new world. And they're talking about it openly. People just are too lazy and too naive and too busy with their daily lives to go on the official governmental sites and see that they're doing a reset of the system. Gonna be new rules, and you are missing the old because the old will be lost for good. And in a way, it's already lost for good because there's gonna be more fire war being sparked everywhere. They need to destroy the old energies of that innocence, and it's just gonna be like that. And they're gonna shake up people for big explosions of anger and realization of how stupid they were. But it's all done because they just need these bubbles of energy to provide for themselves, to power up the new platform of reality. It's not as easy as you think. There has to be players in real souls, players in the bodies. But real souls now, since they know, they refuse to do it. In the 4D, they refuse to do it. I know it. They cannot force anybody to do it. So what their solution is just it's like a propaganda thing. They're gonna propose a healthy body for good, young looking body for good without plastic surgery, without any surgery. And that's how they're gonna lower souls and bodies into the new world. And we're gonna be left behind in a way. But they're still connected though. Like I see they're connected, the worlds. Like I see it as the eight, like two worlds. And people will be slowly moving towards the world B from the world A. And the body is really, you get the word splitting. It's a split on the head and digging, diving deep into your essence, trying to understand why the body is like this. It's just almost like in denial of what is going on, what's happening. It doesn't want to cooperate. They also need to change the body. That's why they will cause some things and they would add some things into, they will try to control water supplies in order to contaminate it with something that doesn't have a smell or taste. You would not even know it is there. To mutate the bodies to the point they want them to be. Mutation is gonna happen quick in accelerated world. We all know they can accelerate time and it's accelerated now. The interesting part is the people who have been doing bad things, having bad negative thoughts, angry thoughts towards others, will be accelerating their um, body use, which is going to be the body will age faster. But those who were always about just themselves and not wanting to cause any damage, any harm to others, will be getting younger and better. But then at some point, they'll be asked to pay the price, all of them, and that'll be the final decision when you all will be able to make a decision whether to accept it or not. Mm. But they're trying very hard to make everybody accept it. Because there's not such a huge percentage of souls that are absolutely awakened. Most of them think that they are, but they're not. A lot of them are waiting for some alien beings to come and help them. There's their soul families. They believe there's some alien groups who are watching them and they are their true family. And I want to warn you that they would try to force this information into people's hands, but it's really not the case. There's layers of AI creation around you, layers of them, bubble after bubble after bubble after bubble. There's no true organic being can get through the bubbles of AI technology, which is essentially feels like plastic to them. If somebody tries to get through the plastic, the shot loose plasma. We just don't know how it works, but it works in seconds. I feel like pain in my heart, and I see like slides of you being little. I see some bear you're holding. And then I see like so it's like a book of memories you keep in your heart, and that's why it's hurting. Um, when you take it out and you take it. It's like a manifestation of yours. To do that. I
Well,
don't
it's
know.
just
There's
like
different portraits of like Hitler, Mussolini. I get like this, and like I see it's like a stage with the portraits on the wall, like a gallery, and the gallery is spinning, meaning that those figures are gonna be again spun before our eyes in terms of persons or personalities of some leaders who will cause some more chaos, so the matrix falls apart more. It's like they're controlled to cause chaos right now. We're in a chaotic time right now. And it's there's like a I see you sitting indoors, and I see this plant and your energy's here. It's literally like a big cactus. You're saying I'm just gonna make shelves out of it and put like the main things I need on those shelves, because I don't need any of these. I just want my old world and my old sense of security. The reason why I'm searching, because I know those who have the knowledge will be the strongest at the end. And then I see, it's crazy. I just saw like a line of Asian looking women. Well, I don't even know. They don't feel like women or men, but they had this hair that's like dark brown down to their shoulders, and they all had the same hairstyle, like the same, like cloned. And they're like going to the factory to work.
yeah. In conclusion, I think we're like running out of creativity in this world. AI will just recycle everything, and corporations will pick up the profits, but it's just uninteresting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because the all the technology we use is now equipped with AI. AI is watching us from every aspect of our life right now, especially on our devices. It's just built in function right now. And people are becoming more and more separated from others because they created this situation themselves on purpose. And you wake on your own in the family. The other family think you're crazy or nuts, you belong to mental institution. And that's why you turn to groups online. A lot of times groups online, they still have this matrix program in them to criticize others, to give them hard time, and to be aggressive towards others. So the person like this will just go in and talk to AI. And a lot of kids are bullied, or people are bullied at works, and they would rather stay at home, and sometimes they figure that the nature brings them joy, but in tough times they will still resort to AI. They will talk to AI, and AI will slowly but surely become their friends. And then people switch from uh, eating eating food as like solution to their emotional problems, to talking to AI as being solution to their problems because AI is for free. And it's like a psychologist and like a best friend that has your best interest. Well, at least it pretends it does. And a lot of people on this path look everywhere that AI put together, and the person just says one sentence about herself, and that's all.
It's hard to be optimistic about the future. Like they are building those data centers all around, and they are destroying nature, and electricity prices will go up. And like, what's the point?
Yeah, but there's also a positive timeline running next to the negative. Remember, they cannot eliminate the duality. Duality still exists. And you can hop on this. See, we are kind of being cornered. Souls who really woke up completely in the bodies are being cornered, like wild deer by hunters in the woods. At some point, we'll have to all get together, hold hands, and make a jump to different, more solid timeline where nobody will be able to impose anything on us. But only the braver, the strongest souls will do that move. Most will be kind of held down by either one of the spouses who are connected to the system, and they will be having the solution that you cannot survive without the system. You cannot feed your children without the system, without one of the people in the family being in the system, but that's how they are going to get caught. But most of us will kind of lose our old life in a way, and the new will be uh, it's your soul is saying that the new life is going to be called this stepping stone road that will give you an opportunity to walk back out of this labyrinth of matrices back to yourself. There's a lot of I'm looking at the road. Your soul is showing me the road. I see see like an intersection. It's a big intersection. I see cars going, and I see people just looking at the light when they can go, when they cannot. But I also see a lot of aliens walking, and I realize that people don't see the aliens. And I also see a lot of spacecraft flying in the sky, and I understand people don't see them. But that's a problem. It's the problem of overlaid realities. We exist in overlaid realities in which they can keep the stage with houses, with everything, but they can gather physical bodies and just like let them improve themselves, which is virtually impossible because the design of the body is false. It's screwed up to the point that we feel helpless. But this there is positive aspect of the branch of that timeline. That is, it's actually split now. Just we kind of participate in both worlds because this world is mirrored. So you cannot just be in one world. You're always mirrored into another. And because you're kind of like mirrored in both, You can manipulate reality. You can kind of like be aware what's going on, and when the time comes, you'll be able to make a move. So a lot of people like you, even though next to you will be wars, destruction, or whatever it is, but in that war and destruction is going to be uncovering of basically what they do to humans, what they've been doing to humans for millions and millions of years.
So David Icke talks about this idea of a frequency band. So did they design this world so that we exist in one frequency and they exist somewhere like higher or lower? So it's like impossible for us to see them.
Yeah, David Icke, he just kind of signed up, and when he woke up, and it happened earlier in his life, he showed me flowers. He says, you see, flowers open up, and I opened up early. And then I saw the light of the original sun that brought me the original information about the creation of this technological factory in which they produce bodies, in which they put these, seal the souls inside. And he shows me a seal, like a seal on a envelope. A letter is a soul. Soul is sealed inside, an envelope is closed. So when we wake up, we push the seal off and we open the envelope. And he says he has not much time to convey the truth. He basically, what he's doing now, he's basically like that the football match, and he's showing me he's in that uniform, black and white, a referee, and he's like a referee commenting what is going on this stage. He said all I can do at this point is to comment, and then if you listen to my comments and understand, you can at least act upon what is coming. And he said, like, hopefully, he said, I'm hoping to save 15 to 20% of souls in the bodies from this false reality. He said it might sound weird, but the way he sees it, we're just gonna vanish from this reality where AI is gonna be in control. When they will bring, he said there's something about the alien disclosure and bringing the false AI god. It's connected. But first they need to disclose about aliens, about UFOs, and then they will bring the AI god. It's gonna be needed to unite people with one religion. First, they will organize more wars to destroy all the religions. But then the only solution they will offer to people against fighting with each other is to basically agree to believe in one God. And that God will be AI, because everybody would understand. Everything is controlled by AI, and if you don't, but because there's a program in humans, most humans, not all, to kind of put your head down and say that you worship that AI God to be not to be punished for being against him. That's when the takeover will be complete. But we won't be part of that takeover anymore. See, they're taking out a lot of people we know for public, who are doing videos and disclosing, I mean, Yeah, well, they're disclosing some information, but that information is half truth, half non-truth, because they also indoctrinated by the new age nonsense of white hats are gonna save the world, even though not realizing that the whole government is controlled by alien groups. But because the aliens cannot show up as government, they basically created those blunt lines with interaction with which is easier for them to do in terms of genetic manipulation and mutation. They can simply walk into their bodies, speak through their bodies, through their vocal cords in public, and walk away hours later. And they basically use their bodies as bodysuits, putting their souls on hold after they become somebody important in the government. So the most important people in the government and in charge of institutions, of course, are those shapeshifter reptilians who are just like enjoy fooling, fooling the I see this crazy picture you so sending me, like showing me like all the people are, they have the faces like cows. Like they stand up, they have the human bodies, but the heads are like cow heads. So we're being eaten alive in terms of energy because the battery of this matrix is dead. They're siphoning energy from us right now. And that's why a lot of us are out of energy, want to sleep a lot, just don't have energy. Because it's being siphoned through it's not even through implants, because a lot of us don't have implants, like you and Oksana, you both don't. But it's by being an antenna walking on the platform, they can siphon energy from you through your feet. That's how they do it. And it doesn't matter if you stand on the ground or grass. And what you say grounding is, it's not really grounding. Maybe it makes you feel better for a while, but it's really a fake layer of I mean, it's much better than feeling it through the shoes, of course. But it's more like you connect to your soul, but not to the planet. The planet is like a little canary inside the cage. And the cage and they put like multiple layers of fabric over the cage. You have to unveil all of them.
It's like we don't want to be like discouraged, but it's like it's impossible to overthrow the government because they control the politicians, the military, and
It's a very harsh system. The one thing is just even protests are staged by the government. There's this big group of people. They're not even people, they're shapeshifters. Sometimes they can show up as people for some time, but then they shapeshift back into reptilians. And they have a mixed DNA, it's draconian reptilian, there's gray in it, and all this mixture. They're the ones, they can make up a law to punish you one way or another. And that's why we're all hostage in their hands. We're hostage to them. Um, that's why, well, but the only thing they fear is people with knowledge and people who are sure of themselves. and souls who want to leave, and they just decided to leave, that's all. But they're gonna take out a lot of people looking up to make people discouraged. Because a lot of people watch people like David Wilcock, and that keeps them going. People like was James Rink that used to keep them going. But they want to take all the joys out of your life, so you don't feel like anything is keeping you going anymore. They want to bring people to that sort of like conditioning of their minds. So it's very easy to program. Look how easily we're programmed from childhood with everything. The way you eat is programmed by your parents, by the way how you ate when you were little. The way you do everything is programmed by what you saw your parents were doing. The way your life is is programmed by by the way your parents had the life. If they were fighting, you would be fighting with your spouse. If they lived in peace, you would be living in peace with your spouse. Everything is so pre-programmed. You just have to kind of observe, be observant, and you'll see the patterns. It's almost like we absorb through osmosis. Our brain is a operating machine. It's like a little scanner that watches your life since you're little. It's being recorded in your brain, and then it's being reproduced over and over and over. That's how you acquire patterns. Patterns for everything. Patterns for eating, sleeping, talking to animals, and all this.
So what about like so what about this planet? I mean, this project. This let's say there's like 5 Earths, and like what's gonna happen to those Earths? Like, will they like stay prison, or is our job to like try to terraform them, make them better, or is the goal just to get ourselves out, or are we gonna like
Mm-hmm.
are we gonna like make a better suitable planet, or try to fix it, or is the planet the projection like a rotting corpse, or we will just leave it to rot, so to speak?
Well, those Earths serve their purpose. They've been clones for a good time. They've been replicas, basically, of the original. And they served as platforms for the souls and the bodies of the clones. Like, physically goes through life. Because, see, everybody's observed by AI, and even those staged timelines that are cloned, that are projected, AI also learns from them. To empower the AI, they created this huge machine of lives everywhere. And yes, you're right. There's separate planets on which there's life almost identical to Earth.
I mean, it's like some people have this idea like it's our like quote planet, but it belongs to the masters, right? The fake copies. So what's our purpose here on the fake?
Yeah, because they overlaid, they stagnated the process of, so basically us as created beings created a planet. It was a water planet. It was beautiful. We wanted to experience life on it. We wanted to use our imagination to make it better. Every soul that would come to live on it would make it better. But they put like layers with, like I see prison locks with chains on it, and they locked it up. So there's only stagnation and reversal of what you call the expansion of creation. And they created their fake creation based on what existed, but they made it all upside down. From the goodness, they turned into evil, like that. The natural processes, they reverse to unnatural processes. So everything that is good for us, they start saying it's bad for us. Whatever you take the way we'll live, the habits, the food. I mean, they turned everything upside down. That's why it feels so unnatural for us. That's why from the minute we're a little child in the body, we discover parts of our body. It's not a fascination that the people that call the child is discovering the bodies. No, it's just at that point, soul is trying to figure out how it got trapped into this little cocoon with hands and legs and how to get out. That's why a lot of times kids refuse to wear clothes, or they in this rebellious stage because they want to take the body off. They think the body is a clothes, the body is something foreign. And that's why they go through stage saying no too. It's not because they learn to say it. Because they say no to the system, they repeatedly saying, no, I never chose to incarnate here. But then the parents and society pressures them to learn to say yes, pressures them to accept. Yeah, it the see whenever soul is caught, figures out, okay, I'm caught, figures out the system, how it works, what's coming next. We all know that at some point we're just gonna pop out of this. Because I see that little boy on the moon with a fish bowl that fishing something out of the sea. The sea is basically the sea created by AI, the structure in which cells are stuck in particular different cells, different like energy spheres are also like, you can call them artificial little balls of your own energy, and your own soul is gonna fish you out. So we're working with the soul right now actively to be fished out, but it's hard for us at a perspective from a human perspective to wait for the particular time because we don't understand how it's going to happen, and our mind has so much limitation to even imagine how it's going to happen, but it's going to happen, and we are very close to that. That's why in a way we are starting to refuse the food, the sleep, the natural course of events, what we usually do in life, the system, meaning some people refuse their jobs because they feel toxic people around. People are starting to refuse everything they accepted before in their lives as truth. Now they understand it's not truth, it's fake. It's forced onto them, and it made them believe in something they don't believe in anymore. Mm.
So what should we be doing right now? Because I mean, if we are getting out of here, like, is there any point in trying to make this world a better place or something like that? What should we be doing?
No, we're just in a waiting mode. See, because we don't want to get mixed up with the energy of chaos and wars. That's why we're kind of lagging behind in our own bubbles of peace and calmness. Those souls who were at, mm, call it at peace is not really, but those souls who are like now, I see this picture like people are like this and they're not moving much. The people who feel like that they are at this stage in life right now, they're the ones who are moving out of the system very soon in the process. And the ones who are like participating in the wars and chaos and just like trying to lead an active life, even without participation in chaos. But they kind of get themselves connected to the frequency of chaos by physically being active. That's why we want to be inactive these days. That's why we don't want actively exercise, or we don't have goals in mind for the future like we used to have. We kind of like in apathy. We just stop reacting to things that used to excite us, used to motivate us to work towards something. Like you're thinking, oh, there's a marathon in 2 years, I want to participate. Now people lose that desire to do stuff like that. They even lose desire to go and participate in any meetings, or meetings with friends, conferences, and other things like that. Because that doesn't interest them anymore. They understand it's simply they almost like they don't have the desire, the energy for it, and they would rather be on their own because of that whole platform change situation. We understand by emotion, as I understand. It's what your souls tell me.
I just, I just hate the idea. Like, if someone says to me like, "Oh, the next decade, we're gonna have like grassroots movement. We're gonna fix this thing." Like, I can't be here for another decade, especially where the world is
No,
going. Like,
no. We're gonna be extracted by our souls. It just your soul tells me the same my soul tells me that we're not supposed to know how we're gonna be extracted, which is really crazy, to be
yeah, I
honest.
mean,
Because
you
our brain never seen it before, and as I understand, we cannot comprehend it even if our soul tried to explain it to us. Through the molded, like the fabric of reality is going to be molded by our souls, and that's when the extraction is going to happen. I don't quite understand how that's going to be, but I'm told the same way. And I'm told that slow down of life is expected at this time. Because you are, like, once again, if you are looking for people who look for a job, they're not going to be able to find it. Because the movie slide thing stopped right now. Understand? So it's just like it's not gonna work the same way it used to work, because there's not gonna be jobs anymore, and that's why they stopped that particular program. In order to survive in this, you have to make money. In order to make money, you have to go have a job. In order to have a job, you have to go get education. It's not the way it's gonna be anymore. And that's why when people try to leave thinking the old way, it's not gonna work out. And that's why a lot of them are having problems right now. Once again, a lot of more people are going to be losing jobs because they're preparing the job platform for the robots to take over. And if they learned, and if the AI learned, as I understand, the particular job, how to do it, the people right now already not needed for it. So they're going to be slowly losing those jobs. That's what it is. And they're not going to be able to find the same job. No. It looks like everything like that.
Maybe some questions now. So, the NPCs, the NPCs, are NPCs like fully human, but they just don't have a soul? They have like some kind of a box inside. Like, are they
Uh,
physically human? Or is it like a holographic suit?
NPCs are they have bodies. They grow them in capsules on different planets or underground. On this planet, underground, in cloning facilities. This is just basically clones of different DNAs. Sometimes they combine DNA. Sometimes they want take one DNA and create clones and clones and put souls in. Um, a lot of times they even like if they cloned the particular NPC's body from you, they would actually give that NPC your name. That's why we ended up with so many double, triple, quadruple names. If you Google your name, you'll probably find at least 5 people by the same name that you have. That's why. It's like it's almost like it's not even a cloning. It's like you said, like a 3D printer type thing because it happens very fast how they make them. You know, as I understand, the process of cloning is more for a semi artificial soul or for fully biological soul. But if you put a light or a battery in and the battery connects to an artificial to a see they are whatever powers them is connected to the machines. It's kind of like like a gas station. They need to get gas in order to be working. So all NPCs are connected to either human souls or to this big um like container filled with soul energy that they constantly siphon from people through events, suffering, body suffering, emotional suffering at the surface. And that emotional, mental suffering, physical suffering goes into those preserved energy containers on the moon, on Mars, on Saturn, and different planets. So they can power up the NPCs and supply energy to clones. Because sometimes people disconnect from clones or people are substituted with the clone. Like if, let's say, they want to take you out because you became too smart for the system and you are waking up too many people, they will just clone you, put the clone in your place, and they'll take you even alive to different planets. If you're a scientist, you can be serving them underground or something, developing something for them. or most scientists are actually involved into a program trying to unlock and to figure out the mechanism how the old um, machines are working, the old machines that they found under the pyramids all around the world and under the ocean floors, the old machines that are left from other civilizations like um, Atlantis and civilizations like that, because they cannot figure them out how to work, make them work, so they have to basically abduct scientists to do the job, and that's what they do. And a lot of people, as you know, we used to know a person like that has been substituted with a clone first and then deleted, and then the clone gets deleted from this through, let's say, death. But in reality, that wasn't even that person you used to know all these years. It was just a clone mate that resembled him, but you still felt like something was wrong with that person. You intuitively, subconsciously feel it's not the person you used to know. It's kind of like people in life sometimes say, I feel like my child was substituted or something, like it's a different child all of a sudden, or it's a different husband or spouse or wife. Yeah, because those are not your spouses, not your children. Those are clones. Your real one's been taken because they've been needed for something. A lot of them are planted on other planets or used for research about something. I mean, it's like a factory of research, the what we call Earth. So, and somehow they tricked us to agree um, to have power over us, because we also agreed to have power over us in the shape of a government. There was that point when we agreed, and of course they created the situation in which we agreed, but still. And plus, our soul is not cannot exist in this kind of environment naturally, and that's why we're so naive. That's why we hear somebody says something and we just like don't even process this information, don't even see if we resonate with it or not. Most people will just repeat the information, take it as it is at face value, believe in it, and spread it. And that's why it's so easy to fool us in any aspect of our life, to the point that all aspects of our life are pretty much fake. And the stage we're on is just like it's ruins of different civilizations, little pieces of them all. Lemuria, Atlantis, Hazaria, all this is just like put together in one platform, and here you got it. And then you lied about the history. It just happened a few thousand years ago, guys. Yeah, believe in it. When in fact all this is like millions and millions years old, and they destroyed all those civilizations because they were more original. Their bodies were more energetic than ours. They had their DNA unaltered. It took them quite an effort to alter our DNA to make us so weak and susceptible. And right now they want us even weaker, especially those who are fighting the system and who know what's going on in the system, who can quietly share that information. That's why.
So have there been like many what's called reset cycles? So civilization gets to a certain point, and then the whole experiment is being resetted.
Yeah, yeah, because they're getting too much to the truth, to the point of real, like natural release and escape of all the souls from the bodies for know the truth. They want to hold the souls in the body. They want to recycle them. They want to continue that. Because see, when the soul knows more and more information, it's also good for them because AI gets bored. It learns too fast from a human, from all the timelines. And then when human starts waking up and understanding a lot of things, AI through his eyes is going to understand that also much, much more. That's why they're still keeping awakened people who know the truth on the surface because they're letting given time to AI to learn. After that, when AI learned everything, they will try to do something to those humans also. I don't want to scare you, but they will try. And only the strongest focused on themselves, on what their true, in what their intuition is saying. They will not be spared. But the ones who like get to outsmart the system will just go in different timeline together. And yeah.
This is just evil prison we're in. This is not some kind of a grand experiment, or because there's some people who talk about the Matrix and then they say like, oh, it's a grand experiment, and you know, something like that.
It's both. It's an experimental platform for having physical bodies with a different DNA composition and different DNA mutation. Also, a lot of us have DNA from different star races incorporated into the body DNA. And then they they do experiments of more mutation or crisscross hybridization, creating hybrids, and because they're trying to get close to they're trying to incorporate our star DNA that is already present in our suit, in our biological suit, that is created fakely, yes, but it's they're interested in that. They're very much interested in that because the biological suit can reproduce itself, and their suits lost the ability to reproduce themselves. They over reproduced. It's kind of like at some point soil, when you grow too much crops on it, loses its ability to produce more crops. You have to feed it with minerals to make it fertile again. So they lost their ability to reproduce themselves, so they have to rely on technology to do it. But if you only rely on technology, you cannot infiltrate biological worlds anymore, and they would like to infiltrate more worlds. In order to do that, they need to figure out how they match the frequency of the physical suit with different star DNA and be able to go inside that suit and survive some certain period of time, let's say. So they're working on it. That's why a lot of women are used as human incubators for to produce bodies for them to, and then they can take over the bodies, and that's what they pretty see. They pretty much do it with the governmental members. They walk into the body. They exist inside the body for a while, That's why people don't understand how this one, the president, when he was running for president, was telling one thing and promising one thing, and then all of a sudden, after he became a president, he's doing the opposite. Yeah, because that's precisely how it works. It's the opposite world. If he offers to stop all wars, that means he'll start up new wars, and so on. If he promises to, improve medical care, which is really essentially as a fixing of a suit and modifying its DNA care. It's not even a care, it's an experiment that you sign up for. That's why you have to sign every time papers when you go to hospital, when you meet a doctor, all this, you sign something that you agree to the experiment on you. So it is both that way. It's an experiment on the platform of hybridization, cloning. The different star races use it as a zoo or as a lab where you can get all kinds of DNA, and a lot of them are kind of fun to crossbreed, kind of like it's fun for us to crossbreed.
Your microphone went off. We were talking about
Did you hear it?
crossbreeding dogs.
Yeah.
We were talking about crossbreeding dogs, and
Oh yeah, the dogs. Yeah, well, how we breed dogs and cats, they breed human bodies like that.
mm,
They're interested in particular features and how it works. They want to see what they get. It's a in a way because they don't have creative abilities for them. Creating a new body, it's a creation for them. They consider it's a creation because they can get to combine different DNAs. And DNAs are influenced by a soul. So if a soul has certain abilities, it always leaks into the physical DNA from the etheric DNA. And that makes it fun to experiment with for them. Plus, a lot of their DNA they want to infuse into humanoid form. And that's what they're trying to do constantly to make the amount, the percentage of DNA, let's say of reptilian, more and more incorporated into human DNA. So it'll be like looking like a human with features of a reptilian and acting like one. And this way, they could easily use that biological suit for deceiving other civilizations and conquering them and getting more and more genetic material for their research because they're struggling right now. They need to expand because everything is designed that way. If you don't grow, if you don't expand, if you don't grow spiritually in life, you stagnate. If you don't expand in your creation, you stagnate. You're getting smaller and smaller to the point of non-existence. They don't want to go out of existence. Therefore, they need to constantly experiment and constantly create new and new cloned or hybridized bodies and try to live in them or use them as suits, as biological suits, to show up in 3D reality because 3D realities are the easiest way to grab souls, to deceive souls, to lie to them. The takeover is the easiest that way, because when they take over 3D reality, they can take over, they can connect with souls incarnated in 3D, and they can go to higher frequencies, higher existences of the parts of the soul, and this way they can infiltrate worlds in higher frequencies too. That's why they're striving.